action. All right. Here's a look at the crazy hammock. And you know, there's different things. Like if you flip the hammock upside down, you can kind of slide a piece of foam between the screen. But this is shoulder season, and in shoulder season, sometimes you want to keep your shoulders warm. So the best thing I've really found over the years is the first thing I've ever made, and that's just a rectangle that shoves. You're on the diagonal. You really don't need two. I have two. The first time I ever went out, I took two. You can just shove it in your backpack, or maybe if you have one of those fancy backpacks, it could even become the structure to it, but a sit pad, whatever. I have to admit, I don't really take it that much, but it's just the idea that, I don't know, this Nemo Neo Air X Lite Women's R5.4, it keeps it pretty warm, even compared to my X-Fed down mat. So I'm, you know, the idea behind this is you can get it, you know, underneath everything. And you know, this is just from a dumpster here. This is a Mountain Laurel Designs. Just other alternatives to an underquilt. Yeah, you know, you're looking at, it's called a crazy hammock. I really like the fabric too. I mean, it does matter if you're trying to get, you know, every edge out of the cold. I think this is a polyester. For some reason, it's just something I found out after the fact. Oops, it's not as loud when I flip the phone that way. I gotta figure that out. But it's just a little bit warmer fabric. I mean, maybe the hammock is ever so slightly heavier than some. I don't really think it is, but the fabric is, it's not a huge difference. I'm just telling everything I know. You know, if you're trying to get every edge without having to use an underquilt, bottom quilt, you know. But this has been, over the years, it's only about 9 feet long of a hammock. It's a little bit wider than, the 4-foot Eno, I think, but I'm not even sure about that. It's got a little bit of more relaxation here, and you can get a little more on the diagonal. That way you don't have the cuts. Of hammocks are funny. Some of them you get the hammock pulling in, and that's what you get with a too wide of a pad too. My first thought was go with a wide pad. I'm kind of a wide guy, but in all honesty, the narrower regular size pad keeps the air right underneath me, and even the shorter woman's version, that's less place for the air to go, you know, sticking up under your feet or your head. The air's right underneath you. It all makes these little tiny differences. I use simple systems that, you know, keep everything. This is my tree strap extension. You know, I can just take the regular tree strap, the X-Ped slit line, button link. Simple stuff you can all research on your own. But yeah, there it is. That was tonight. Don't get me wrong, it's not quite as comfortable as a big, expensive, longer hammock, but it's still, you know, I use this a lot of trips. It's still pretty good.